Has a beginning and an ending. American Michela took the Alpine world by storm 2 years ago. A ferocious and precocious competitor, at just 17, she ripped her way to the top of the slalom standing. She's done it! 22/100th Schifrin into the lead. Winner of an Olympic and World Championship gold medal, Schifrin has only scratched the potential her career will ultimately unleash. For Tina Maze, she just keeps rolling. One of the most dominant all-around skiers for the past decade, Maze is closer to the end than the beginning of her career.
She's always so confident. She goes down the hill and you're like, Tina Maze is on course, and she is shredding this course up.
After digging up 2 golds and a silver at these Worlds, can she hit pay dirt once again? 2 women inspired by what the other has achieved will push each other to the edge. It's tight turns, high speeds, and big stars as the story of this year's World Championship Women's Slalom gets carved out at Beaver Creek. The brilliant sunshine of the Colorado Rockies again over the Beaver Creek area as these World Championships hit the final weekend. There wasn't a seat to be had at the Red Tail Stadium finish a good hour before the start of this women's slalom this morning. Same goes this afternoon for the second and decisive run, as most of this crowd is hoping their 19-year-old sweetheart and hometown girl makes it another gold for the United States on this Valentine's Day Saturday. And they are hoping that Michela comes through this afternoon in the second run. It was a great run for Michela today. 4/10 better than the next best, Frida Hansdotter, but she's got some stars behind her that could crowd the podium, including Tina Maze, who already has 3 World Championship medals during this week for Slovenia. Dan Hicks back with Kristen Cooper, where the real focus is on the 19-year-old from right here in Vail, Colorado, Michela Schifrin, trying to become back-to-back world champion in this event for the first time in a decade when it was last pulled off.
And she's shown that she has the composure to do it. At age 17, she was a world champion. At age 18, Olympic champion. At 19, she's just more composed, more experienced, and embracing the pressure. She's calling this hometown Worlds an epic 2-week birthday party, and she's skiing like she's loose and free. You got to know also that Michela Schifrin is taking some inspiration from Ted Ligety, who just yesterday put on a brilliant performance in the second run to take gold in GS.
So the United States, after picking up that first gold for America, trying to make it back-to-back golds on Friday and Saturday. What about the scramble on the podium behind Schifrin in this event?
Yeah, well, there's all sorts of women skiing very well on this course, and chief among them is Frida Hansdotter, just 4/10 back, the bronze medalist in this event last time. But Tina Maze isn't out of it either. 8/10 back, but just 3/10 out of bronze, and this is the one that she wants. She does not have an Olympic or World Championship medal in slalom yet. Tina Maze is going to be firing.
The first of the 2 runs took place this morning, and we begin our calls of those races with the Slovenian superstar. Here she goes, though, looking for a 4th World Championship medal. This is the first of the 2 runs. Again, they'll take the total combined of the 2, and the lowest time wins it.
What we want to look for here is loose, flowing skiing by Tina Maze. She's so powerful that on a course like this, she can overpower it, but you can see how really difficult the swing turns are there. And Maze, a little cautious, frankly. I'm not seeing that loose, flowing skiing that we need to see from her.
Really had that loose freestyle in the first 3 races of these championships. Didn't really see to the GS when she finished 5th.
She won the first slalom race of the season, and she hasn't won since. And I just think that this is a little too careful and cautious, and a little mistake there. She looks sleepy, frankly.
Down goes Tina Maze. Final few gates. We'll see the time of 50.92. Doesn't seem to be thrilled with it.
Well, one of the things that Michela has learned over the years is that she can't waltz in and win at half speed, and I think Maze was sort of half speed here. We'll see, of course. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. First time we see the course, maybe it is that turning, maybe it's that slow.
There's the father of Michela Shiffrin, Jeff Shiffrin, ski racer in his own right, physician who skied at Dartmouth. His wife taught Michela Shiffrin on the hill how to ski, and here she is at the age of 19 looking for another world championship, already the youngest slalom Olympic gold medalist ever, youngest American to win Olympic gold in Alpine. First of two for Michela Shiffrin.
Such a solid standing, such good balance.
Calm in the upper body. Look at her shoulders never move. The question is, can she make the most of this hill? Early pressure, getting off, finishing the turn. Really nicely done. That's got to be fast, and it is.
4/10 better than Maze right now, and it's early, still with a lot more time to even add to it.
Maze was sleepwalking through that run. Shiffrin is on it. You know, these women are really used to more difficult hills than this, where you really got to stand over the outside ski. Here it's a balance between all-out aggression and precision.
Lead is a half second as Shiffrin comes in. Huge roar comes up in the final few gates for Michela. Leader by more than 8/10.
You know, one of the reps on Michela Shiffrin, and she's got a very short rep sheet, is that she doesn't get up to speed quickly out of the start, but she did. She likes to increase her rhythm to a kind of flow, a drum roll. She hears it like music, and this time, right out of the start, it's as if she was just on the beat, wasn't she? Back and forth quickly, ahead of the course all the way. Look at that gorgeous turn right there. The hip almost on the snow, and yet perfectly balanced over the outside ski. Great pole plant. Wow.
Hometown crowd loves it, and Shiffrin, 50.07, takes over the lead. There have been 5 different winners in the 6 slalom races this season on the World Cup circuit. Frida Hansdotter of Sweden is the latest of those winners. Again, leads the slalom standings, was behind the Michelas, Kirchgasser, and Shiffrin at the last Worlds 2 years ago.
She also won the last World Cup race leading into that. It can't be overstated how much confidence you bring into it there. She's ahead of the course, she's quick. She did that as well as Shiffrin. 3/10 back, maybe edging just a little too strongly for this very critical snow. It's such a balance. Frida's got to let it go. Michela Shiffrin found that perfect line of riding the edge and letting it go.
Gained just a little bit, but still more than 2/10 back of Shiffrin. It should be good for the second spot right now.
A slight mistake coming over that rollover, a little bit of a double turn. That's going to cost her.
And the leader of the slalom standings, Frida Hansdotter, does indeed get into that second spot. 4/10 back of Shiffrin.
So impressed with the improvement in Frida Hansdotter's technique. A huge focus and a heavy workload this summer, calming the upper body and getting her pole plant strong and forward so that she's not behind it. You know, she used to get back onto the tails of her skis, and there's no tail in slalom. It's such a short slalom ski. They call them disco sticks for that reason, but she's really improved.
So it didn't take Michela Shiffrin long at all to establish herself as the clear favorite. Quick early lead by 4/10 over Hansdotter. Shiffrin hoping to stay on top of that podium by the end of the day in the second run. Little camera. Here is Sharka Strakova of the Czech Republic. Won bronze back in 2010 games. Became the second Czech alpine skier and first since the breakup of Czechoslovakia to win an Olympic medal when she took that bronze in Vancouver.
She is a big event racehorse, there's no doubt about it. So many injuries and fallbacks in her career. A brain tumor in 2013, for which she had surgery, was in critical condition, and comes back to get on the podium in 2015. She's also a mother, one of the only mothers on tour, and certainly the only elite skier to juggle and balance all of those responsibilities.
World Championship medal in every color. Down comes Strakova of the Czech Republic, about a half second back, might get into the third position.
Nicely done there.
Strakova of the Czech Republic does get into that third spot behind Hansdotter and Schifrin. Here is Michela Kiergasser, the skier from Austria, who finished second to Schifrin at the last Worlds in Schladming.
Nice solid skiing on top. Here's where it's important these swing turns get and stay ahead of the course. Well done by Kiergasser. I don't think anybody has been closer than 0.4 of a second so far, so that's right in there for Kiergasser now. And there's all sorts of room here at the bottom to let it go and to gain time.
So Kiergasser looking for another World Championship medal. Here took bronze earlier in the combined, as Austria's really been racking up the medals, but Kiergasser continuing to lose time.
Yeah, and the second set of swing turns after the second roller is really where everybody's having trouble.
Michela Kiergasser to the finish in the fourth position, almost 0.8 back of Schifrin. So we'll look at the standings after the first of two runs, led by Michela Schifrin, 0.4 better than Hansdotter and Strakova. Kiergasser and Tina Maze also a part of the medals mix. Well, with all the high-speed skiing going on here this week, Korbel welcomed back a few of the all-time greats into the competitive mix again. First up, the Korbel Legends race featured some of the great Alpine names from years gone by. Then, in the Korbel Charity Cup, former World Cup racers teamed up with everyday skiers to help raise funds for Right to Play, the nonprofit organization that helps support athletes in war-torn countries. This was a day when truly everyone was a winner on another sun-splashed day on the slopes at Vail Beaver Creek. What a scene here in Vail Beaver Creek. Largest crowds we have seen in the 2 weeks of these championships. Those folks lining the hill near the finish line, that crowd will continue to grow as they have long been turning down people away from the Red Tail Stadium section, which seats 3,500. Most of them cheering for Michela Schifrin, who will go last in this 1 to 30 reverse order. When you go to the prom with my brother, I guess Michela will have to get back to you on that one. She's got a little skiing left to go. Happy Valentine's, everybody, from this gorgeous Colorado Saturday. And the weather conditions brought to you by Goodyear. Temperature heating up close to 50 degrees. Not much wind. In other words, just another gorgeous day in Colorado. So the standings after the first run, Michela Schifrin of the United States trying to go for her second straight world title, 0.4 lead over Frida Hansdotter. Strakova in the same deficit, and then you've got Kiergasser and Maze within shouting distance. Let's take a quick look down this new set course, the GoPro course preview, Coop.
Well, and as in the first run, it's game on right out of the start. Tight turns on this steep. It was a clear separator on the first run. A little more tempo on the second run. The course still goes back and forth across the hill, requiring a lot of precision, but a light touch. A little more forgiving this time. The snow has remained hard and grippy. A few more shadows on top. Get down here, it's all sunshine, and they start to see and feel the crowd down here. There's one more rollover, and then it's all out attack from here. This is a hill that defensive skiing just doesn't cut it. You've got to pin it with precision, high line, early light pressure, and now let them go into the finish, into this huge Red Tail Stadium and the roar of the crowd.
Top 30 racers for the first run go in reverse order, and making the flip for the first time in her career is 20-year-old American Paula Molson. So we've got bookend Americans. You got Schifrin going last, and she led after the first run. And this is Molson, who also, like Lindsey Vonn and Michela Schifrin, has made her home here in Vail. In fact, she skied on the same hill in Minnesota where Lindsey Vonn learned to ski, Buck Hill. In fact, tutored by the same great Eric Seiler, now 89 years old. So down comes Molson in a huge moment in her young career.
And her former coach Seiler here in the stands to watch this performance And I'm not seeing any nerves there. Really nice fluid skiing. Oh, I love how this second run comes over that roller nicely and makes a little turn, making the most out of this hill, which actually is the bottom pitches of the men's downhill. They didn't salt the course this second run. They thought about it and decided, no, it's staying cold enough and holding together well, so that's nice.
Think about the feeling she must have when she's coming down into that huge crowd. This is the first time she's ever taken a second run.
Just a little flip there, but that was fine. She recovered well. Look at the solid fundamentals.
First skier down is Bolson, and you can see how pumped she is. She moved here to Vail with her father at the age of 16 prior to learning the sport in Burnsville, Minnesota at Buck Hill.
And what an excellent display of skiing under the pressure of being in her first World Championships, the first time she's ever made it into a second run in international competition at this level. And she was focused, kept her shoulders level. Look at the weight on the outside ski there. She came in with a high line. You can see how soft the snow is. It is warm, but it's going to hold up. Well done, Paula.
Welcome to the flip in the second run, Paula Molson. Down, Senya Alopina of Russia, just 22 years old. And we talked about it all week, how word will trickle up to the racers going later about how the course is, where the trouble spots are, and where you have a chance to gain some time.
This looks like a very rhythmical course. I like how it's set. It's so interesting that we're seeing this Russian team start to trickle up into second runs, and of course on the men's side with Horoshilov doing so well and winning a race in slalom. Well, there's a reason for that. The Russian Federation put all sorts of money and focus on their ski team heading into Sochi, and we're seeing the results of that now. Good solid skiing by this young Russian.
Third World Championships for Alopina.
Such an opportunity to ski on a clean course. No!
Just like that, Alopina goes down.
She was so controlled. And yet we talk about how short these slalom skis are. If you get onto the tails of the skis, she just couldn't handle the acceleration that she made there out of a really good turn and got popped right out of the course. Here's where it's going to happen. Great acceleration. Couldn't get that outside ski back underneath her.
Well, there is Paula Bolson. We are early, but she's going to soak every single moment of that on top of the podium. Just getting started in the festive atmosphere of Vail Beaver Creek. You can dream it, live it, share it, own it. Get your 2015 gear at shop2015.com. Second and decisive runs of these ladies slalom continuing, and there is a smiling Charlotte Schabla of Switzerland who completed the first time a second run in a slalom. There's been several skiers that have gone since we last were with you, so it's Schabla of Switzerland who has the lead. A couple skiers have also fallen on this course, as you look at Maria Pitale-Holmner from Sweden, 28 years old, competing in her 6th World Championships. One of 5 different winners on the World Cup Slalom circuit this year, so definite contender.
Dan, I can tell you that the MPH on course right now was bitterly disappointed. No smile on her face after that first run, after the Swedes went to great lengths to completely undo what they did prior to the Olympic Games last year when they got shut out of the medals. They weren't ready. This time around, they came to the World Championships a week early. They were training in Steamboat, Colorado, so there was a real sense of a tailwind coming in, but she did not prove it. Only Hansdottir stepped up to it this first run.
Yeah, Steve, she was more than 2 seconds back of Schifrin. She's going to take over the lead, it appears, here now from Schabla, but she's coming from a ways back to try to be on the podium. So Pitale-Holmner to the line, does indeed take over the top spot just by 6/100ths. But again, very early in the order, so Schabla had her moment in the sun, but right now Pitale-Holmner takes over the top spot. Well, Michela Schifrin still to go, just a teenager, but already with world and Olympic titles, but the learning process continues for the 19-year-old, especially after she took that Olympic gold in Russia a year ago. In this feature brought to you by Putnam Investments. to win Alpine Olympic gold.
At that point in the night, I was so tired. And it was, 3 a.m. by the time I got to do this interview where I was like, I want to win 5 gold medals. Everyone was like, okay, cocky much?
Michela Schifrin wasn't even in the top 5 in the second run, so for Michela...
The first slalom race, Levy, Finland, I was devastated. I felt like I was going as hard as I could, and I had absolutely no chance. And I flipped out. At that point, I was like, if this is going to happen to me, if every time I don't win a race, then it's not worth doing the sport, because that was like severe depression. But if you work hard and if you stay focused and you don't let those failures get in the way, then the success will come.
Michela Schifrin has got one.
That is the Michela Schifrin of the last 2 years. We want to welcome the world to Colorado.
The pinnacle of ski racing is World Champs, and we have it in my backyard, so I am really excited. With the training I've done and with the speed I have right now, I have the opportunity to win, but I have to ski my best.
She told me earlier in the week, if it wasn't going to be fun, I just wasn't going to do this sport. She turned her attitude around and is the big-time favorite to successfully defend her world championship later on here at Beaver Creek. It's been another highly successful Alpine World Ski Championships here at the Vail Beaver Creek area, the third time they've hosted them, and yesterday Chairman and CEO of Vail Resorts, Rob Katz, caught up with our Carolyn Mano.
Rob, it has been such an exceptional turnout here in the Valley. What does hosting an event like this mean to Vail Resorts in Vail Valley?
It's just incredible. I mean, to have the entire world come and see how beautiful this valley is, how the community shows up in these stands. This has been really a world-class effort on all levels, and we're just so happy to have everybody here to do it.
There's also been more than 2,000 volunteers. How proud are you of the job that the organizing committee has done to pull this off in such incredible fashion?
There's no way our company could come close to doing this without those volunteers. And these are people from all across Vail and Beaver Creek who are really giving their time for 2 weeks to do this. The Vail Valley Foundation, the organizing committee, outstanding. The U.S. ski team. It's such an amount of pride that we have for the country to do this.
We're glad to be here. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, thanks so much. Love it.
There's the defending champion, Michela Schifrin, icing herself down on the side of the slopes. And Steve Marino, I know it's close to 50 degrees down here at the finish.
Yeah, and it's every bit as hot up here in the start. She's squirreled away there. Of course, if you keep the boots in the snow, it makes that plastic firmer, and it's a predictable flex, what they're used to. That's what she's trying to do. But in this case, she's got the whole body in the snow. I'll tell you what, there's people putting snow on their heads up here, down their necks, just trying to keep for 50 degrees. That's like 110 degrees for a soccer player.
Keep in mind, this is the middle of February. It's been like this all championship week long. There is the leader, Nastasia Nowens of France, who's taken over the top spot. And in the gate right now is Maren Wiesler of Germany, just 22 years old, in her first World Championships.
And how much does this struggling German team need to see some fire out of some of the young racers? We haven't seen Wiesler on the World Cup Tour at all. She's new, she's young, and the German team just struggling with the loss of Maria Hochel-Riesch and her sister Susanna Riesch, who was a slalom specialist, and for a long time the disappearance of Rebensburg, who came back to win a medal in the giant slalom, but it's been tough for this German team.
Hochel-Riesch announcing that retirement, of course, one of the longtime friends of Lindsey Vonn and a fixture in championship ski racing for so many years, one of the all-time greats.
And the Germans were just once the class of the Tech nations. They were stronger, deeper in talent, execution, technique, and you can see a little bit of that here with Wiesler, a really nice young talent.
Wiesler coming to line, brings it back a bit, still second, 3/10 or so behind Nowens.
So there's still just great conditions here on this slalom, but the ruts are starting to form just a little bit, really a groove more than a rut. And as the field is pretty packed with superstars coming up, everyone from here on out, that the track should continue to be made in a good place above the gate so that the real contenders can ski that groove for speed. It's just perfect conditions for slalom. It normally, of course, breaks down so much more than this. And I think it was a good idea not to salt.
So we'll just have to wait down the final 30 here. Again, awaiting the final skier who will be Michela Schifrin. There's Tina Maze. Has a chance, 8/10 back, has not skied as well as she did in the first 3 races, and there is Schifrin continuing to ice herself down and staying what it looks like to be very relaxed.
Listening to music, keeping herself cool.
This is Michela Gagnon. This is her best technical event. In fact, finished 8 slaloms in the top 10 last year, finished 6th in the final slalom standings, 13th in the overall standings. She's had some injury problems, mainly a dislocated shoulder, which she's done 3 times since the last Olympics.
Lost a couple of tenths there of her lead. She really should come down and be in the lead at this point. Gagnon, a definite star of the slalom circuit, but has just struggled this season, as you said. Has not found her form. Dislocated that shoulder again and again and again, and you don't get the training, and she just doesn't have the confidence. And you can see that the style is there, the technique is there, and she needs some miles as a healthy human being.
And you can see that she began this run more than a half second ahead of the current leader, Noens, and lost some big time, all of it, and then some. Second, but still, Michela Gagnon continues to struggle.
Her technique is very free-flowing. It's kind of Mancuso-esque, the great Julia Mancuso, who's seen her in slalom and giant slalom ski with a very kind of erect style that's sort of not a lot of angles, but lots of attack and very soft feet.
Next up from Norway is Nina Loseth, technical specialist. Her best event in this slalom, though she has only 1 career podium.
And Dan, it was her coach that set the first run. And he happens to be Canadian, used to work with the Canadian team, and talked with the Canadian coaches between runs. I said, "You guys still speak?" I said, "What do you mean speak?" I set that course for the Canadians in the first run, speaking of course of a great run by Aaron Melzinski upcoming.
Yeah, what a fantastic role the Canadians have been on here. They're just skiing with a lot of fire, and Aaron Melzinski really struggling to come back from health issues that she's been battling for the last couple of years, including coming into Sochi. So we look forward to seeing her here today. But Nina Loseth, someone else who's kind of struggled this year. We haven't seen the best skiing from her that we should with this resurgent Norwegian team.
So Loseth comes to the line, 3rd position, about 3/10 back. Stasi and Noens of France continues to lead.
Loseth brought Norway the first female slalom podium in 12 years in Zagreb just 2 races ago, a 3rd place there. It was her first podium in 9 years on the World Cup. Kind of interesting, there were 3 sisters, 2 sisters who raced with her in World Cup. Nina and Mona, Lene and Mona, she's the last of them still on the World Cup tour.
Well, there's Schifrin still in the position. I don't know, maybe she is frozen down there. Have to check on her.
I'll tell you what, and there, you need to then get your body going and quick twitch going again. She will.
Nicole Host of Austria, her father, watching up top as his daughter comes down. One of 5 different winners this season on the Ladies Slalom World Cup circuit. Highly decorated skier, 8 Olympic and World Championship medals through the years, including silver in the combined at the Games in Russia last year to go along with a Super G bronze. So Host is multi-talented.
But she really misjudged the course and the texture of the snow on run 1, as most of the Austrians did, frankly. And now she's got it. Added a 10th to her lead here. That's more like it. She was really condensing the arc on run 1 and hitting very hard at the gate. And this kind of hill, which is very moderate, you need to just open that arc up.
Host takes a seat.
A full second ahead.
Had a good run going, was for sure going to take over the lead. In the meantime, Schifrin remains motionless on the hill, deep in her thoughts. Hometown crowd can't wait to see her come down. In the gate from Slovakia, Veronika Zuzulova 30 years old. It took some 10 years and 145 starts to pick up her first and only World Cup win in slalom. In pretty good position, about a little more than a second behind Schifrin here.
9/10 of a second ahead of the women who are in the finish now, though, and she's increased that to 1.2. You can see that she's got what it takes to win a slalom race. Tall, lanky, puts good angles on the ski, early pressure and release, really stands upright with that square upper body, and quite light on her feet for such a big woman. Absorbs the acceleration, well done there.
Continuing to have it. Now almost a second and a half on Nastasia Noens of France. Again, beginning about more than a second behind Schifrin, but it is Zuzulova who takes over the lead. Just increased that time all the way down.
She knows that was an excellent run.
And savoring it because she came back from an ACL injury suffered in training prior to the start of last season, and so has not been 100%, but that was an excellent run.
And in fact had to have arthroscopic surgery earlier this season to repair another meniscus tear in her left knee. So a fantastic performance for her, and that she really let it go down there on the bottom. Kind of a master class so far on this course.
Yeah, the first skier to really kind of pound it and make a statement. Again, we've got plenty of contenders left to overtake Zuzulova. Got the Valentine's Day face mask on there, and well, there is life at the top of the hill. Michela Schifrin, maybe she actually napped.
But your mom said it's kind of, there's some shady spots in the course.
She's continuing to get good reports from her mom, who's been so instrumental traveling through Europe with her in the teenage years. This is Katrin Zettel of Austria, silver medalist in the World Championships in the slalom 4 years ago.
A woman who's a master of precision and often struggles on hills that are a little more moderate like this one is, to just let it go and have the light touch she needs. You can see that nice groove that's starting to form. These women coming now are going to have to put their ski in that groove and make the most of it. Use it to accelerate, as Zettel is.
Check out the next split with Zettel, who has her eyes on the top of the podium. She's continuing to increase the pad over Zuzulova. So we're going to have a new leader from Austria. That country, well, little slips there. Let's see if it cost Zettel here coming down the final few gates. Indeed it did. She was in line to take over the top spot, but just behind Zuzulova from Slovakia, who continues to lead. Seen several skiers go off course, make those mistakes that'll cost you time. Tina Maze, one of the all-time greats, coming up. Another one of those threats to Michela Schifrin, who is out of the snow and up on her feet.
Sometimes I get into the gate and I'm clicking my poles together and I look down at the course and I'm like, I do not want to do this. And then there are other times when I race where I get into the gate and I'm just so excited to get that course coming to me as fast as possible. And that's really the best feeling in the world, is to know that I'm in the gate, about to do what I love, and I can't wait.
Coop, I get the feeling after she had that first run this morning, this is going to be one of those times when she can't wait to get it going. It was beautiful skiing.
Slalom takes 2 runs, so she's got to get out there and do it again. A pretty similar course set this time. The way she likes it, turning back and forth, a little quicker tempo.
So here we go with the final 8 skiers, which are going to decide it. This is 21-year-old Ruby Holder of Switzerland coming down. Many believe that she can just harness that incredible speed and aggression. She's going to be a force in this discipline.
Oh yeah, she is a force. She's starting to be one this year. Look at that, really nice high above the gate. We talk about how important that is so that you can carry that speed to the next turn. She lost just 1/10 of a second in there. That's the hold in her mistake. All the time she put so much energy into the turns that she just couldn't harness it.
She didn't finish either the slalom or the GS in the Olympics, and again, another example of maybe just trying to attack it a little bit too much.
Yeah, you know, you've got to use tactics and some strategy as well. She's on the steep there and needed to be a little smarter.
And so down goes Holdner. As we continue to anticipate Michela Schifrin. Pino.
And despite the difficulties some of these skiers are having, the report that came up the hill from the U.S. coaches to Michela Schifrin, they said it's simple, it's straightforward, bring the speed. They say be aware of the fact that there is a groove, which she knows, and the fact it's a little bit shady, so it's harder to see. Interesting, they were very simple with the approach. In giant slalom, they said every single gate she was asked questions. In the inspection in slalom, she's on her own. At 19, she's owns her destiny.
Another Austrian coming down the course, and Carmen Tolman.
Well, yeah, Steve, as you said, the DNFs that we are seeing are not a function of the difficulties on the course. It is in prime, perfect condition. Yes, there's a groove. Yes, there's those shadows, so it's a little tougher to see it. But you can see the skiers that are having success on this course. They're putting their ski in that groove and getting on and off of the ski quickly. And boy, does Schifrin know how to do that.
Boy, has Tolman already lost some big time. Had about a 2/10 advantage over the leader right now, Zuzulova of Slovakia, and then lost it all and is now 7/10 back.
With these warm temps, there's just no reason this course should be holding up as well as it is. Well, that says something about how they prepared it here in Vail, Colorado. It's going to be fair and fast all the way through the field.
So Tolman into the third spot as 6 skiers remain to decide the slalom.
Talked about what we saw so much of in the Austrian contenders on the first run, where they were just too hard with their pressure on this snow. It's natural snow, it's a light feel, that's what it requires.
Michaela Kyrgasser, who finished second at the last Worlds. To Schifrin in the battle of the Michelas in Schladming, Austria. There is the Michela who ended up on top. As an 18-year-old, now 19 years old, looking for another World Championship before she even turns 20. She's 6 skiers away. In the gate right now, Erin Milzinski of Canada. The 6th best first run, about 9/10 back to Schifrin. The best position she has ever been in an event of this stature.
But the last time she was in a World Championships, took herself out of contention in run 1. Guess what? Won the second run in the 2013 Worlds. But she didn't have any pressure. This time she's in the 6th position, and she knows that she can contend for a medal if she has an exceptional run.
Lost some time, had the 3/10 advantage over Zuzulova, and that is gone and is now right on Zuzulova's pace.
Very risky. Nice, she took off that gate with her boot, taking a very direct line, but she's above the gate there. Just barely losing time here, a little bit with everyone, a little too hard on the snow.
Milzinski of Canada in the red by 2/10. Final few gates coming down to the Red Tail Stadium finish. Into the third spot, half-second back, so Zuzulova continues to lead with 5 skiers left.
And frankly, not the run that Erin Milzinski wanted or really has the talent and potential to have. Riding a wave of confidence and belief after this Canadian team has taken 2 silvers in these Worlds, and that first run for her is so good. There's the technique that we know that she can bring out, but she just got a little behind the course this time. She really did. She just fought it a little bit all the way down.
As we have arrived really at the meat of the order as one of the all-time greats with 13 Olympic and World Championship medals. 3 more added at these championships for Tina Maze, but she just hasn't been quite the same after she took 5th in her 4th race here in the GS, which put it into her chance to become just the 2nd skier to win 5 medals at a single Worlds.
But this is the one she wants. She has no Olympic or World Championship medals in slalom, and she came into the season saying it was one of her goals, and then sleepwalked through the first run, frankly. No lightness, no fire, and I'm seeing it again. She's really overturning at the top of the turn. Can you see that? It just, maybe there's no freshness in her legs after all that she's been through in this Worlds.
Again, it's been a totally different skier since the 2 golds in the silver.
And when Maze's not on fire, she can be nearly unrecognizable in her technique, and that's what we see here. Doesn't she look tired? Absolutely. There is nothing left in this woman.
It is a long week, and even when you're so multi-talented as Tina Maze, sometimes that week takes its toll. Maze's not going to be a factor in the slalom at these Worlds. 13 World and Olympic Championship medals, none of them in the slalom discipline, and it'll remain so.
And Mozzie's had a top 3 run in at least every race. She hasn't been in the top 3, but one of those 2 runs has been among the best in the world, and she was nowhere near that. Look at that position. She probably hasn't been in that position in slalom in a couple of years. Just out of it. Tanked. Gassed.
So still awaiting the final skiers here. That's Michela Kiergasser getting some ice on the back of her neck. You heard Steve Perino talking about the continued heat up there, even toward the top of the hill. We've seen record temperatures here. So here comes Kiergasser looking to improve on the silver that she won behind Michela, and right away, Kiergasser's off. How crazy is this?
Well, this has not been the day for the Austrians after kind of dominating this World Championships every day, coming up with a medal, and today they just have been off. But when it happens this quickly, and it just looks like, isn't that funny? It almost like she banged the pole out of her way and then it hit her ski and got into her way as she tried to complete that turn. A very unusual mistake. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that.
The silver medalist in the Worlds from 2 years ago, out after the first few gates. That has made the road a little easier for Schifrin, as we've seen a number of skiers go off that had a chance here to put some pressure, at least on the podium.
And that to me speaks to just a little tightness in the start.
So up top, the final few skiers remain. Sharka Strakova, the Czech Republic. 3rd best first run time. Frida Hansdotter of Sweden, the 2nd to last to go down the hill. And it'll be Michela Schifrin with that 4/10 advantage over Hansdotter after the opening run. So here is Strakova of the Czech Republic. World Championship medals of every color in the past Worlds, and beginning there with a 7/10 advantage over the leader, Zuzulova.
But nearly a half second behind Hansdotter and Schifrin. So she's got to have an excellent run here. She's got to take some risks, and she's not taking them up there. That was really careful. This is easy snow. You got to trust it and let the skis run. She was skiing it like it was ice up there, losing just a little bit of time.
Not much, still a half second better than Zuzulova, so perhaps Zuzulova will go off the top of the podium. But remember, Hansdotter and Schifrin still yet to go. But Strakova could be skiing her way to a World Championship medal right now. To the top of the podium by 2/10. So it'll be another World Championship medal for Sharka Strakova of the Czech Republic, who won gold in the World Championships 8 years ago in this event.
Well, I don't think she gave it all that she had, frankly, but you know what? It was solid, safe skiing all the way down. She was getting early pressure on the skis. She was releasing, smoothing out the arc, adapting over the transitions from flat to steep.
So another medal will go to Strakova. What color will it be? That will be determined by the final 2 racers. Frida Hansdotter of Sweden.
Really an incredible big event skier. She comes up with it time and time again.
So Hansdotter is next. Bronze at the Worlds 2 years ago. Wants to go to the top of the podium this time around. We've talked about it all week. Maybe the most consistent slalom racer this season. 4/10 back of Schifrin, who goes next.
And lost all of that 4/10 on top on the first run. She needs to calm it down with the upper body, stay forward. Nicely done there. And she's gained on her lead. Now here's where she maintained on the first run. Really, she's so good. She doesn't worry about her arms. It's so typically Swedish, like the Swedish men. She just watch the feet. So loose and relaxed. That was a little mistake.
A little bobble there. That last split split was good, 3/10. We'll see if that bobble is going to cost her some of that right now, headed perhaps to the top of the podium. Hansdaughter coming down, final few gates to the red tail finish. And Frida Hansdaughter takes over the lead by nearly a half second over Strakova. So the cheers roar up for Sweden's Frida Hansdaughter, with only Schifrin left to knock her off the top.
And she fixed those mistakes from run one up on the top and got into that slinky lateral quickness and that stylish stance that she has. Clean, precise transitions, takes all that energy onto the new ski, sets up. Well done. There was a mistake in there, but it wasn't enough to cost her the silver. And we'll see if it was enough for gold.
So Hansdaughter leads, Strakova in the second position. And the chance of USA have already started for Michela Schifrin. She's only 19 years old, but who knows if she'll ever have this opportunity again to win a world title in her hometown.
She exploded out of the start on run one. Got up to speed quickly. Needs to do that again. Nice and loose. Wow, is she relaxed.
Crowd with high anticipation. The thousands lining the finish line along the slopes here at Beaver Creek to see if Michela Schifrin can pick up her second world title at the age of 19.
She used her renowned touch and timing to perfection on run one. It wasn't a perfect run. She made some mistakes, but she was all over it. Absolutely balanced from top to bottom.
4/10 advantage over Hansdaughter, who's got the lead right now. That's the cushion that she has to play with, but she's lost some time already and is behind.
Super careful on top, wasn't she? Now she got to let it go. She did it on run one. She needs to do it again down here. Hansdaughter kept up with her on the bottom half, though.
Tremendous pressure to try to satisfy those hometown fans who await Michela Schifrin at the bottom of the hill. 3 100s back at Hansdaughter is going to have to make it up here.
She's got to let it go down here. There we go. Now some speed.
Schifrin to the line. Is it going to be enough? Yes! There was some drama, but is there a better feeling than this? A world champion in your hometown.
All season long, she has been known to leave it to the last third of the course to let it run, and boy, did she ever. She lost her lead and gained it back again. Slinky and absolutely masterful on the bottom part of this course to take gold.
Didn't panic, lost some time early, and like all the great champions do, they relax and perform when it matters most, toward the back half of this hill.
You just can't say it enough. How precise, how smooth, how controlled and efficient she is with her energy. But when she needed to let it go and really take some risks, she did on the bottom part of this course. She talks about liking to increase her rhythm to a kind of flow that she can't escape. Well, she did that, a tempo like a drum roll on the bottom of this course. Wow.
Fellow Vail resident Lindsey Vaughn felt the pressures of trying to come through for the hometown crowd. Did win a bronze in the Super G, but fifth and off the podium in the downhill. But Michela Schifrin backs up the world she won in Austria with another one here in front of her hometown crowd.
You know, when I saw her so relaxed up on the top, I'm thinking, is that enough? You see everybody else warming up their body and be sure that they're ready to go because it's a sprint. But she has learned what she needs to do to bring out her best skiing, hasn't she?
On Valentine's Day in front of her hometown crowd. Michela Shiffrin comes through once again, back-to-back World Championships. And this is the sweetest one of all. 2 years ago in the ski-crazed nation of Austria, she got her first. Here on home snow in the United States, Michela's the champ again. Celebration continues for Michela Shiffrin of the United States. The toast of Vail tonight and Beaver Creek, no doubt, beginning the second run that decided this ladies slalom with a 4/10 advantage over Hansdaughter. Another look at this second run, and again, lost all of that 4/10 pretty quickly, too.
Yeah, she really did. I mean, up here, we heard that her mother said it's going to be hard to find the groove there, so maybe she made a calculation, okay, I'm going to be safe, because she really did ski pretty cautiously here with that perfect Shiffrin technique, still making the turn above the gate, releasing and accelerating, but yeah, that pad was gone by the time she hit the middle of this course, and that's where she hit the afterburners, no doubt about it. Here she is coming into the roar of the crowd, and Shiffrin just lets it go. From here on down, a master class in slalom skiing.
15-20 deep to her left and lined up the hill with no seats left at the Red Tail Stadium, and then into the throng of 3,500. Shiffrin made it up and then some to beat Hansdaughter by a little more than 3/10.
Really got her ski in the groove down at the bottom and just accelerated ski to ski. That was fantastic.
And just a short time ago, Carolyn Mano talked with a two-time world champion.
Michela Shiffrin, congratulations, a well-deserved sip of water there. Everybody in these grandstands holding their collective breath before we saw you cross the finish line in green. What were those first few thoughts that went through your mind?
Well, I mean, when I was at the beginning of my run, I knew I was attacking, but it was a little bit like kind of conservative line. I knew I had to charge down here and try to use the groove a little bit. And it seemed like people were taking it too conservative down here, so I think I made up a lot of time, but every single person I've seen so far, like 20 people have said, "You're killing me! You almost killed me!" I'm like, all right, you know what? It's okay. It's all under control.
Another World Championship title for you, back-to-back with an Olympic gold medal sandwiched in between, and you get it done here right in your backyard. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy now that I think about it, and it's just before my second run, I was starting to admit to myself how much I really wanted to win this race, and some of that was good, but then I was like, stop that. It's about the process, it's about the turns. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of pulled myself together for this last bit, and I don't know, I'm happy. It's nice to be in the green.
We've seen you be so mentally tough. You're 19 years old, although about to turn 20. I'm sure this is a very nice birthday present for you. Where are you right now? What do you think is possible for you from this moment forward?
I mean, I really hope that I can, in the next couple weeks before our next race, I can, get back to my GS and really try to take the next step, because I feel like I'm so close, and I feel pretty comfortable with my slalom. It was, like I said, it was a little bit conservative at the top, but I really let it rip down to the bottom, and it's nice to have the confidence to do that, but I have to get there with my GS, so that's kind of where I want to go.
Well, enjoy this moment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shiffrin just a month away from her 20th birthday, the major championship hard work continuing to pile up. 2 world titles to go along with that Olympic gold, and the United States has saved its best for last in these world championships. Shiffrin wins gold today. Ted Ligety won gold yesterday. A quick look back at his win when we return. Yesterday marked another big day at these Worlds for the United States when